Hello my friends and welcome to this highly detailed, highly generic and hopefully timeless guide to installing Battletech mods. Now, if you've looked at the time of the video already, you're probably thinking that, oh my god, this video is absolutely enormous. You don't have to watch it all, you just have to watch this bit, which is section 1, and the section that interests you based on what mod you're trying to install. So, I mean, the idea behind this guide is that there are more and more mods and mod packs every month. I think there's like 500 mods on Nexus now. And so I wanted to create a guide that basically shows you how to install all the different kinds of types and flavors of mods in a generic way. So you can take this guide and go away and install, maybe some mod that doesn't even exist yet, because it's going to follow one of these processes that I'm going to outline. Okay, so you can see here from the sections we have prepare to install mods. So you always want to go through this section. We're going to prepare our client to install whatever mods we want to install. The second section is installing single folder mods and mod packs. So these are standalone mods which you will drop into your mods folder, and mod packs that use the same method. So I know of Xi and XLRP use this method for installation. Then in section 3 we cover folder-based cab mod packs. So that's BEX, BEXCE, BTA 3062 and Hyades Rim are all mods that I am aware of that use this method, and I'm sure in the future there will be others. Then there are installer cab based mods. As far as I'm aware, RogueTech is the only one at this time. That will be in section 4. Then in section 5 we're going to cover how you can make your own simple mods using my alternative reputation mod as a template for learning purposes. You can download that mod and use it, and I will show you how to edit it and the logic behind it, so you can make your own simple JSON mods, because editing the JSON files in a non-destructive way is actually how a lot of the modding is done. The more complicated stuff is done with code and dills, and we're not going to cover that at all, but we will cover making JSON mods, because a lot of maybe what you would like to do is covered by a JSON file. And then finally we're going to go through some tips and tricks in terms of backing up your mods, and also having 2 copies of Battletech so you can play the base game and play multiplayer while you're modding. There is a way to actually have 2 copies of Battletech by using the Paradox launcher and Steam at the same time. Unfortunately, I don't believe this method works for GOG, as far as I'm aware, just Steam. But if you have the Steam version of Battletech, you can have 2 copies of Battletech installed at the same time without issue. Okay, so going through the rest of section 1 here, we need to prepare our client to install mods. So, first thing to do, obviously, Battletech needs to be installed. Install it from clean. If you had previous mods and you've been having lots of trouble, there is my clean uninstallation guide. All the links that you will require will be in the description, and all the timestamps for the various sections will be in a pinned comment, which I will pin to the top of this video. So you can get to the timestamps for the various sections, but you need to prepare your client to mod before you actually start modding. So Battletech's installed. You want to click Properties on Battletech. You want to only update this game when I launch it. You want to disable Steam Cloud synchronization. And you want to check that you are on the version of Battletech that your mod that you want to play supports. So at the moment we are on game version 1.7, and you will see in the betas tab that there is versions 1.6, 1.5, 1.4 and so on and so forth. Not all mods will always support the most current version of the game. Maybe you want to play XLRP. I believe for the longest time XLRP only worked on version 1.5. You want to play RogueTech at the moment of this recording of this video. The release of RogueTech is still 1.6. There is a 1.7 beta, but you have to go through a process to get it. So it is critical to know which version the mod that you want is currently running under. So you will want to select that, and if it's not the latest version, then you're going to have to wait for it to update and change and be ready again before you can start installing. Okay, so now you've decided which mod, you've done these things and you've decided which mod you want to play. Now you need to skip forward to whichever section matches the mod that you want to play. So that's section 2 for single folder mods or create your own mods, XI and XLRP. Section 3 for BEX, BEXCE, BTA, 3062 and Hyades Rim. Section 4 for installer cab based mods, which is RogueTech. Or if you're just interested in making your own simple mods, you can skip straight to section 5, make your own simple mods. So this is the end of section 1. Okay, so welcome to section 2, installing single folder mods and mod packs. So this is the most basic of mod installations, which if you want to create your own sort of custom set of mods or install a bunch of mods that you like the look of, etc., that are not mod packs but that are individual standalone mods, here is what you need to do. So first, of course, you need to download an individual mod. So for example, Alternative Reputation, which is my mod, which I'm using for demonstration purposes, is just a standalone mod. So you can get it from Nexus Mods. All the links I'll put in the description. You can download it, and when you're done downloading it, it shall appear on your desktop. And you also need to download ModTek. So ModTek looks a little bit different. I will provide this link as well because it's on GitHub. So in here, on the ModTek main page, you will see at the bottom, download a release from here. So download a release from here and then download modtek.zip, latest version for 1.7, or whichever version suits the mods that you want to install. But generally, with single folder mods are usually all working on the latest version of Battletech, and you don't have to roll back for them. It's normally mod packs that you have to roll back for. Okay, so once you've downloaded those two, right-click Battletech, go to Properties, bring up your local files. You'll see your installation here. You want to create a new folder called Mods, like that. Then you want to open up Mods. You want to open up the ModTek zip and drop that in Mods. Close that. And then you want to add all of your single folder mods that you want to add. So in this case, we're just going to add one, which is Alternative Reputation, just as an example. And then you need to open up ModTek and right-click the ModTek injector and run it as the administrator. Injection complete, any key to continue, done. And that's it. If you want to add more, so say you then decide later on you want to add more single folder mods, you know, you want more than just Alternative Reputation, you just add more folders into this directory. And it is really as simple as that. There's no rocket science about it. So if we run Battletech now, we will see that the Alternative Reputation mod is running and nothing else. Now, Battletech XI and XLRP, it's the same method. It's just lots and lots and lots of individual mods that you need to install, and then you install XLRP or XI last. Because what's going on is, when you install all the individual mods, they come with their default configuration. And that default configuration might not suit the balance of, say, XI or XLRP. So you can see here in the bottom it says with ModTek version 1.7. So we were successful in installing. So I'll just close this down. Those mods' default balance might not suit the adjustments that XLRP or XI make. So you install all the mods that they ask you to install first, and then you install their mod last. So in the case of Xi here, you will see, for example, that Xi is running on version 1.6. So you would download that. And in the description, there is also a number of mods that you can install. So you'd install all of these first, and then you drop Xi over the top, because it may or may not make changes to all the other mods to get them to fit in with Xi. And that will be true for XLRP and any other kind of mod that uses this method for installation. And that's it. It's as simple as that. This is the simplest kind of mod installation, but it's also the most tedious, which is why other installation methods are much quicker, if not simpler, than this. Okay, that's it for this. So I'm just going to annihilate these. And my mods folder. And that's it, cleaned up. There's nothing further to do. ModTek will still be injected, but that doesn't do any harm. And if you install another mod, you'll run ModTek again and it will re-inject. Some mods have different versions of ModTek that they use, so just make sure that you always run ModTek that comes with a mod pack, if that is what you are installing. Okay. Hello and welcome to section 3, which is folder-based cab mod packs. So very similar to how you install section 2 mods if you've watched that, but we're going to go for it right from the beginning, of course, because people will skip it. So folder-based cab mod packs are BEX, BEXCE, BTA 3062 and Hyades Rim, and I'm sure that there will be more in the future. And how you install them is pretty simple. You just go to properties of your Battletech, open up local files, create the mods folder like that, close this, and then download, of course, all the bits and pieces and the appropriate cab, which will be a folder instead of an installer. So I will show you on the website here. This is the community asset bundle page, and if you go to files on it, links for this will be in the description. You will see community asset bundle here. This is not the right one, this is the installer one, and then further down you will see single folder versions. So in this case there's a single folder version which is for BTA Advanced 3062, and then there's also one for BEX and BEXCE. Check with each mod pack as to which single folder they use, or if they use the installer, of course, but that's not for this section. And make sure that you download the correct folder. You also want to check which version of Battletech the mod uses and change it if appropriate. So I'm gonna play Battletech Advanced 3062, so I'm just using this one as an example. So you will see in the single folder lots and lots and lots and lots of mods, and all you do is just select them all, copy them, and paste them into your mods folder. This may take a little time because there's a lot of them. Now, normally we would do ModTek first, but some mod packs come with their own version of ModTek. So what you want to do is you want to install it all and see if ModTek comes with the mod pack. And if it does, then you want to run that one and not install the single folder ModTek. All single folder based mods install exactly the same way. So BEX installs like this, BEXCE installs like this, etc, 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 and future mods that use the single folder cab will install this way. So it's me trying to make sure that we can cover all the mods and future mods with one installation process. Okay, so once your single folder cab is installed, just check on the site, on the main page for the single folder mod that you're installing, if there are any other things that you need to install. So under files for Battletech Advanced, for example, there is a core, which will be the thing that we will install last. And then it also says here, Flashpoint module, download it if you have Flashpoint, and Urban Warfare module, download it if you have Urban Warfare. So I've downloaded these in advance. With BEX and BEXCE, there's just the core folder pretty much. So you just install that. Some mods might have a lot, some might have a little. Just read carefully what you should be dropping in. So just following the simple rule, the next thing that we will do is install this Urban Warfare module. So let's drop that in. Then we'll install this Flashpoint module. So we'll drop that in. And then finally we will install the ModPack module, main module itself. And you can see here, look, that there is a ModTek folder. So this one comes with ModTek. So let's drop this in as well. Now, where single folder mod installs differ from installer versions is that you will need to, once this is complete, we will need to actually right-click ModTek and run the injector, just like with single folder mods. Whereas installer ones tend to do that for you, but it can be worth just running the injector anyway if you run into trouble or the mod doesn't load. Okay, so that's everything, and now all we need to do is pop to the ModTek folder, run the injector. It asks me if I want to re-inject. That's because I've already modded in the past, but I say yes because I want to use this version. Important to always use the version that comes with the mod pack that you are trying to install. Once again, BEXCE and BEX and I think Hyades Rim as well all come with their own versions of ModTek, which may or may not be the latest one. You just don't know, so you might as well always use the one that comes with the mod pack. It's the only way to know that you're going to be, it's all going to work, basically. And that is it. You have now installed, well, in this case, we've installed BTA 3062, but it's the exact same process for BEX, BEXCE, and Hyades Rim, etc., and any future mods that use the single folder system. Which is the vast majority, actually. The vast majority of Battletech mods use the single folder cab system, as opposed to just installing mods individually, like XLRP and I think CCC used to do that as well, but that's no longer supported. And Xi, of course, and the automated installer version, which is RogueTech, which we will cover in the next section. Okay, so it's loading, it's populating. Obviously this is a huge mod, so there's tons to do. Finishing up, and game loading, and we are good to go. And now you will see Battletech Advanced 3062, or BEX, or BEXCE, or Hyades Rim. Okay, and that is it. Okay, section 4. Welcome to section 4. This is the easiest installation of all the ones covered in this video. This is installer cab-based mods, which are basically designed to make things very easy. So the only one that I know of is RogueTech. So if you go to Nexus Mods and you go to the RogueTech page, you will download the core, RogueTech core. You will download this, which currently supports game version 1.6.2, which is not the latest version as of the time of this video. The latest version is 1.7. Always remember to check versions. And then once you've downloaded that, it's like 70 megs, so it's not, it doesn't take too long. Then you want to download the Community Asset Bundle, the installer version, which is at the top of the list here. So this is the Community Asset Bundle installer version. Once you've downloaded those two files, what you need to do is go to your Battletech installation, go to Properties. You want to go to the betas and change to version 1.62. This may not always be true. Check which version that RogueTech requires, or any mod that uses the cab installer. You want to check it, then you want to select it, and it will install version 1.62. I'm not going to do this because there is actually a 7 gig difference between version 1.6 and version 1.7, which is what I'm currently on. So we will be here for a while switching versions. But once you've switched versions to 1.6, if that's necessary, by the time you see this video, maybe 1.7 version RogueTech is released to the public. Once that's done, you will have two files here which we downloaded earlier, the Community Asset Bundle, which has an exe in it and 2 bins, and the RogueTech installer. So the Asset Bundle, you want to drop that onto your desktop. It will take a little while to unpack because it's quite big. Then you want to run the Asset Bundle first as an administrator, and then you want to run the RogueTech installer as an administrator. And once you've completed those two things, you should not need to run the ModTek injector like you do in various other installs covered in this video. It should be done for you automatically. If you face any problems, the simple step that you can take is to simply run the bundle again, then run the RogueTech installer again. It's as simple as that, and it should fix itself. As long as you started your installation from a clean version of Battletech. So we're just waiting for this to install. Install, well, decompress actually would be better terminology. And we're done. We're done. Okay, and we're done. So you run the cab as an administrator. Next, finish. I'm not going to install it because, as I said, I'm on version 1.7 right now, and RogueTech uses version 1.6, so it would turn into a bad time if I tried to install it. And then you run the RogueTech installer. Go through, accept the agreement, point this to your Battletech directory, which it should detect automatically, but it might not. So you can find that by going Properties, Battletech, Local Files, and just checking the path is correct, which it is in this case. And then you can customize your RogueTech installation. Next, it will install, and then it will be done, and then it should work. As far as I'm aware, the RogueTech mod pack is the only one that uses this full installer version of the cab. It really, generally speaking, can't go wrong as far as installations go. But if you face issues, just run the cab again, then run the installer again, and it should work. Otherwise, follow the clean uninstallation procedure. Losing my voice here, and then try again. And it's as simple as that. I'm not sure if there will be any other mods in the future that use this process, but if they use the installer version of the cab, then they'll have their own executable, and it will be the exact same process. Okay, welcome to section 5, make your own simple mods. So, making your own simple mods is actually really easy, and probably an over well kept secret. So in order to show you how to do this, I'm just going to show you how my mod works, which is a very simple mod. So as you know, you would normally have ModTek, and then you would have your mods, and they would be in a mods folder. So I'm just going to create a mods folder here. Mods, there we go. Pop that in there. Okay, so normally you'd have a mods folder, and inside that mods folder you would have your mod, and you would have ModTek. So if you look here, I've still got BTA 3062 installed because I want to play that. So I've got that installed at the moment. So if I click on mods here, you will see ModTek and billions of mods, and that's BTA 3062. But what if you want to make your own mods? Well, it's actually not that difficult. So if you just want to make simple mods, simple changes, because HBS have actually exposed to text files a vast quantity of their code blocks. So you can actually change a vast array of things about the game with a simple text editor. So taking my alternative reputation mod, which you should just download from Nexus Mods, I'll provide a description. If you open it up, you will see a mod.json file and a streaming assets folder. So in the mod.json file, just click edit or open with, depending on your version of Windows, and just open it with a simple text editor. I use PSPad because it's a more detailed, more comprehensive sort of text editing tool, but you can just use Notepad. It will work just fine. So in here you will see some code that basically has the name of the mod, it's enabled, what version it is, who the author is, website, and whether it conflicts with anything, blah blah blah. So you can copy this. If you're going to make your own mod, for example, then you could just copy this. So let's just copy alternative reputation. Let's paste it, and let's call it practice mod. I'd keep it as all one word actually, just in case there's any funny business. And then in here, we want to edit this and just give it the same name. Oh god, I hate it when Windows does that. I give it the same name as the name of the folder. So in this case, practice mod with the same capitalization, enabled true. You can give it a description. So I'll just delete this one. There we go. My practice and demo mod. Okay, the author and website is already correct for me, and the rest can just be left alone. Okay, so we're done. Let's save. Okay, so now what you see here is streaming assets, data, sim game constants, and sim game constants.json. So this is a JSON mod. So what does that mean? Well, these folders already exist in Battletech. So if we go to Battletech and go to local files, and if we actually go into the Battletech data, okay, you will see a folder called streaming assets, which we've recreated the structure here. And in that folder, there is one called data. So you can see here we've got data, data. And then in here, we have one called sim game constants. And in here we have sim game constants.json. So if I open up the one in the game, you can see here there's like a ton of badly formatted stuff. Now this is where you will need a proper text editor. So I'm going to open this with PSPad, which you can download for free. Just Google PSPad and you can get that. And you see here that PSPad has tidied the text up for us. So it's all neat and tidy and readable. So in this file, you will see that a lot of things about the game are controlled. So for example, default system travel time, default fuel time, fuel station time. Now, there's no manual that HBS gave everybody that told everybody what all these figures do. You just sort of have to guess. You can see here, quarter length for finances 30, month length 30, burn down day length 30. Now, which one of those adjusts the financial report that you get every 30 days? No clue, but you can edit them if you wish, and save the change and see what happens with your Battletech. Now, of course, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that in your actual Battletech folder, because then you've got to go back and undo it if you break something. And so this is where ModTek is very clever. So what ModTek does is it takes my version of SimGame Constants, which I will open here with PSPad, where I've changed some things, and then it pastes it over the top of this one. So you're never endangering your Battletech directory structure. You're not endangering the files that you have in your Battletech folder. Instead, what we're doing is we are simply pasting this over this. Now, in my case, what I did here was I've only got the things that I've changed and some brackets here. And in here I've got this career mode bracket, end bracket here. These are code blocks. And basically I'm just changing two different things in two different code blocks. Because if you see here, this top block, there is a disliked max contract difficulty. And down here there is also a disliked max contract difficulty. So I have to actually define that I want to change the career mode thing, and I want to change this thing, which is above the career mode thing. And all you do is you do the blocks. So if we look at the real one, say the real one, the original one, the game one, you will see that if I scroll down, there'll be a section here that says story open bracket, and then there's a load of things, and then eventually there'll be a closed bracket, probably at the next section, which will be like Mech Lab. Here we go. So there's a closed bracket and a comma. So all I'm doing is I'm with the career bit in my one, I'm just literally saying in this block change these things. But you don't have to do that. I only did that because I wanted my mod to work with other mods. And I knew at the time I made my mod that there were no other reputation mods at all. No one had bothered to make a reputation mod before me. So I knew that if I just changed the reputation values, then my mod would not interfere with any other mod because no one else is changing these values. That's no longer true because my mod was very popular, and so there was kind of a rush to do a reputation changes for a few of the mod packs. So it's not quite true anymore, but it was true at the time. So I'm just minimizing the damage that my mod could potentially do to another mod by only changing the things that I want to change. But if you're making your own custom version of Battletech, or you want to change stuff, then you can just copy this file wholesale into here. So I can just take this and copy it here and replace it. And then you can edit whatever you like. You can edit all of these values. And if you break something, you can undo your edits, or you can just delete this file or whatever. But your original file will be protected, because that's what ModTek does. From the mods folder, it's loading your practice mod based on the fact that we gave it a name and all that kind of thing. And then it's just looking at the directory structure that we've provided, and then it's looking in Battletech data and saying, oh yeah, there's a file with the same name in that directory, so we're going to replace that file with the mod one. We're going to paste it over the top. Or in the case of my mod, we're going to change a few things about it, which is called merging, but it's not really important. So if you wanted to change something else, so let's say we go back to data. Okay, so I've got nothing in data. But you can see here, look, there's a load of hard points in the hard point folder. So if you wanted to change some hard points, then, you can just copy the hard points folder into your mod like this. And then you can knock yourself out. So I want to change the awesome. I'm going to open it up in PSPad. And I can see here that location, center, torso, weapons are are these various things. And in the head there is these various things, and so on and so forth. And you can just experiment. You can just add, you know, you can add another line, for example. So we could do this. We could take this line and we could actually put another line in that's identical, just making sure to delete any spaces, because we don't know. It's basically a very good idea to delete spacebar presses that shouldn't be there. We call that white space in programming, and in theory you should get rid of all of it, but for formatting reasons sometimes people don't get rid of all of it, but it's wise to use the same formatting. So we've actually made a change here, and we can just then load up Battletech and see what that change has done. Have we've added another hardpoint? Have we added another weapon to the default design? Go in the skirmish lab and have a look. What have we changed, etc. And it's just a matter of experimentation. If it didn't work or didn't do anything, or the game crashes, you can simply undo the change that you made, and you'll never impact your game data, because you're editing your mod version, not the original version. That's the great thing about ModTek, is it's protecting the game's files from the mods. So if the mod does not work, it's not then putting those files that don't work into your Battletech data, and then you can't run Battletech anymore. You can just delete the mod that doesn't work, and suddenly it's working again. And that's it. There is tons, and I mean like absolutely tons of stuff that you can edit, that HBS made editable. And a vast quantity of the work that's gone into a lot of mod packs is literally data entry, going through every chassis, changing hard points, changing loadouts, changing weapon definitions, etc, 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 etc. Adding star systems is another classic one. For example, there's just a folder full of star system definitions, which are just text files with very obvious things in them, and you can just copy one of those and have a new star system and give it a new unique name and description and all that kind of thing, and the game will load it and put it on the map, as long as you don't make the coordinates somewhere really stupid so that they're like the system is miles away off the map, because the game's map as standard is a particular grid area. So if you're just doing a JSON mod, you can add planets and things, but they need to be within that box. But there is tons that you can do. So I hope that you found this interesting, and maybe this will lead you on the path to customizing or otherwise creating your own mods and getting your own personal experience. And you know, you don't like the fact that medium lasers are too powerful or too efficient, or autocannon Mark IIs are too heavy, you can change it. You can make autocannons weigh 2 tons less. You can change the mechs that have autocannons and fill in the dead space that they now have with extra ammunition. You can change the damage output of a standard medium laser, and then all of the mechs that use that standard medium laser, they will all have that damage adjusted, and so on and so forth. There is a vast amount of text editing that you can do. So I hope you find that interesting and helpful, and it gives you some idea as to just how much you can mod the game without any programming experience whatsoever. So I hope you like that. And that is the end of my brief tutorial on how to make your own Battletech mods. Okay, welcome to section 6. Some tricks and tips and so forth for you guys doing a lot of modding, perhaps wanting to keep a lot of separate mods and all that kind of thing. So first thing I wanted to cover in this section is you can have 2 versions of Battletech for free. It's very simple. All you do is go to play.paradoxplaza.com and you can log in with a Paradox account. You can make one for free. No problem there. Sign on in. and then you connect Steam. And once you've connected your Steam account, you can download this launcher, and you can see here the launcher supports Battletech, Surviving Mars, Tyranny, and Stellaris. I don't know if it supports anything else at the moment. But anyway, you can download and install the launcher, and you can install the Paradox version of Battletech off of your Steam license. Having installed it, you can then keep that version clean for playing multiplayer and playing the original game if you so wish. Or you can even mod it if you're so inclined. You can put ModTek on it and drop folders in, and actually you can mod it just as readily as you can mod Steam. So my actual recommendation for you is, if you want to run 2 mods at the same time, or you want to keep a clean version of Battletech so you can play multiplayer in Inner Sphere Wars, for example, just go to play.paradoxplaza.com, connect your Steam account, download the launcher, and install the Paradox version of Battletech. Obviously, installing the game twice, it's going to be obviously quite harsh on your hard disk, but if you're really into modding Battletech, this is a great solution for having lots of mods. Now, the other thing that you can do, if you go to Battletech, go to local files, browse local files, and so at the moment I have BTA 3062 installed because that's what I want to play. If I want to play something else, I can, and the best way to do it is to simply copy and paste your Battletech folder and rename it. So here I have an old version of RogueTech, which I quite enjoyed back in the day. I think that's the Nightmare Mode one, which is version 1.4 of the game. I'm pretty sure it's version 1.4. Now, some people have said that you can just rename the mods folder and then install some other mod, and then rename the mod folders back and forth to switch your mods, because a lot of mod packs now have got their own save folders, so there usually isn't a problem with save conflicts. However, you may cause yourself a disservice by doing this, although it will save a lot of hard disk space. To have an example here, my old version of RogueTech is version 1.4 of the game. The current version of RogueTech as of this video's release is 1.6, and BTA 3062 is version 1.7 of the game. So if you are using version 1.7 of the game and you switch your folder to your previous RogueTech installation, your game will have a conniption because you're on the wrong version of Battletech, and your mods and saves will break. So it's better to actually just copy the whole directory. So what if I want to play my old version, my old 1.3 version of Battletech? Because I am currently version 1.7. So how do I play the old version? Well, it's pretty simple actually. As part of the preparing to mod thing, you set automatic updates, play this game, only update it when I launch it. You turned off the Steam cloud. And then all you do is you go offline. And once you're offline, you then rename this folder, which would be renamed to Battletech Advanced in this case. And then we rename this folder back to Battletech. And then we run the game. Because Steam, in offline mode, Steam doesn't check the game's version, or whether it's valid, or whether it needs an update, or anything like that. In offline mode, Steam will just run the game as it is and presume that it works. And that's perfect. So if I change the folders over and I'm in offline mode, then Steam will run my Battletech folder with version 1.3 RogueTech in it, and it will just work. It will just work. There will be no problems whatsoever. And when I'm done, I can then rename the folders back, delete any save games if necessary, and then I can go back to my version 1.7 version of Battletech and play Battletech Advanced. It is as simple as that. And because this old version of RogueTech, I already installed it and I already know it works, and it's already got ModTek injected and all that kind of thing, I don't have to do anything at all apart from toggle these two folders back and forth to play the old version. Excuse me. So that is pretty much it. Just remember that so say we're playing Battletech Advanced right now, and then suddenly HBS out of nowhere are just like, right, we're dropping version 1.8 of the game right now. And here you are sat with a Battletech that says update pending. Oh dear. So in that case, what you want to do is you just go to offline mode and then run the game. It will say update pending. It won't matter. It will just launch the game. If you're in offline mode, it won't update. So if version 1.8 drops, because we had the foresight to only update the game when I launch it, instead of launching the game in online mode, which will update it, we go to offline mode, go offline, then we launch the game with the update pending, and the update will not install. Battletech will just run with your version 1.7 BTA installation, or whatever your mod installation is. It will just run and you can just carry on playing. And then using the method that I described earlier, you can rename it to, you know, version 1.7 BTA, and you can update or reinstall Battletech and put some other mods on, etc., etc., etc. Of course, obviously, you are copying an entire installation of Battletech, so that's 26 gigs a piece. Make sure you got big hard disks. Fortunately for me, I have big hard disks, so yeah, I'm good to go. But you guys might have trouble, but that's the price you pay for having all these mods. Right, and after all of that, we are done. 46 minutes of talking about mods. My voice is thoroughly ruined. I hope that someone out there found this helpful. You'll all be forgiven for not watching the entire thing. Just watch what you need. And I hope people out there find this helpful both now and in the future, and I don't have to update this video, and that it covers everything from here and now and forever onwards. We'll see. I hear some rumors in the rumor mill that I can't talk about, that that ModTek might be fundamentally changing, shall we say, and then this guide will be useless. But until that point, it should be good to go. So I hope you guys found this helpful, and I will see you guys next time.